bit of a risky play. Looks like he's gonna end up finding this. Oh, he popped his Mask of Madness. He's definitely not gonna want to use this Chronosphere for this Chen, but he didn't get any time locks there. Looks like a turnaround onto this Venomancer. He's gonna go down almost instantly. The damage output there is insane. But Chaos Knight using his ultimate here. Look at the damage going on to Yellow. Rubik, is he gonna go down? Excellent epicenter as well though, hitting. But everyone's there for WhA Asian pretty much. Chronosphere going to be used on this Templar Assassin. His BKB is of course off cooldown. Excellent Bro Strike as well, catching the Chen. They're going to get two there. And Shen is forced to blink away.
Shen doesn't have time to pop his hand up God there, and I think that might have been enough to buy Templar Assassin time to live and pop that refraction and perhaps do some more damage to the Faceless Void, but he just doesn't have time because of his sanking.
Yep, excellent plays though coming out. That's exactly what they needed. Are they going to try to contest Roche here? Ice Bat scouting it out though. So they know that Roche is just about to be started. As well as the Forge Spirits there.
Yeah.
What?
Void is taking a lot of damage here actually. And I don't know if they want to do this when they don't have Faceless Void's ulti.
Meteor and Deafening Blast both whiffing there, so those are going to be on cooldown for about another minute. There's no real ward protection coming out of Team Exotic here, just to protect their, you know, their jungle a little bit. They have the Roche vision in a way with one of their wards on the bot.
Yeah.
But that is of course mimicked by WhA Asian, and a nice ward coming out of WhA Asian on the top as well, just to check for anyone trying to farm the top lane. If they run a little bit too far forward, they could get caught potentially.
Yeah, very nice warding from WhA Asian. Just kind of wanting to keep up that pressure.
Looks like, of course, Exotic back off from Roche, and then WhA Asian's going to step up to the challenge here. Doing a lot of damage to it. Are they going to be able to kill it before before Exotic respond here? Epicenter is 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1, and at the same time, excellent Chronosphere. Is he going to try to... He's actually trying to go on Dark Green here onto this Chaos Knight, but Chaos Knight with the heart has too much health. Oh man, the Roche does go down to the Dire though. That's going to be massive though, because although Chaos Knight goes down, he's going to come back up. Excellent play though, here coming out. Are they going to be able to get the TA? No, they're not. But both focusing, they do end up getting her, but at the expense of the Venomancer as well as Bounty Hunter. Nice Epicenter though coming out of the Sanking, hitting these two. But Chaos Knight, of course, saved his ultimate, has it now. He's going to just melt.
And you have to think that Epicenter came a bit too late. He probably wanted to combo it with the Faceless Void earlier in the Roche pit.
Yeah, tries to Sandstorm there to try to get out, but unfortunately he was in tower range vision, so he did get spotted there, and Invoker picking up a relatively easy kill. Roche going to the Dire was a very important thing there. They tried to do a lot, you know?
Typically we don't see Invokers go for that Aghanim Scepter until maybe like their last item, because he doesn't really... I don't want to say he doesn't benefit from it, but he benefits a lot more from perhaps finishing better boots, I feel. And maybe perhaps a Yule's.
Yeah, that might be the case. I agree with that. He does have his Blink though and Force Staff, so that gives him a lot of mobility. And the Sheepstick means he's not going to run out of any mana. But yeah, as we said before, that Epicenter unfortunately came too little too late as well. And the Roche actually going down to the Dire as well as Chaos Knight picking up the Aegis was a really important part of that fight, because they actually focused him at the beginning with the Void's Chronosphere. So he got low really quickly, and him picking up the Aegis with the Immortal there really let him just come right back into that fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe that was the key to victory, because they did lose a lot of people at the same time.
They're going to try to go into this Bounty Hunter. Nice Meteor Blast combo as well as a Cold Snap. Forces Bounty Hunter to pop his BKB. Now sitting at a 5-second BKB. Nice try there. The Searching Sunstrike unfortunately misses his target.
Definitely a good attempt though. It's not really one of his main spells to use in fights, so the cooldown isn't really wasted.
Yep. Unfortunately for Templar Assassin, she's going down a lot in these fights, so she's had the same Mytho Hammer on her and around the same amount of gold for a very long time now, so no real item progression coming out of her. On the other hand though, 3.2k sitting onto this Chaos Knight. He actually picked up his Ogre Club. He's most likely going to go for a BKB here. And Invoker finishes his Ags. This Invoker is huge.
Yeah,
he's actually the top gold per minute right now.
He's also the top net
three.
worth. Yeah.
Yeah, top 3 gold per minute. Of course, going the way of WhA Asian.
Oh, Void is so close to snatching that third spot from Templar Assassin, but not quite getting there. He is worth more than Templar Assassin, though. Let's keep that in mind.
Yeah. I feel like the last item, though, going to come out of this Invoker is most likely going to be those Boots of Travel completed, because he has no real use for any other boots here. Just, you know, standard Boots 1 build on the Invoker.
Chaos Knight actually finishes his BKB right here, and I think they're going to use this as a timing, kind of push with this. And, oh, especially with this double damage rune, I think they're definitely going to push with this.
Yep.
And then they smoke up, actually, so yeah, they probably want to gank and then push, trying to find that solo kill and get a numerical advantage.
Once again, without Crydasia here on this Templar Assassin, it's weird because normally you don't expect the TA to be the 1 in a 4 protect 1. I feel like, although their smoke path is going the way of that Templar Assassin, so maybe trying to use her as bait, but something is up when you see that TA playing so far forward and you have everyone else missing on the map. I feel like if she was part of the smoke gank, it would have been a lot riskier for anyone to get any farm on the map.
Yeah, I agree. We actually see Faceless Void pick up Templar Assassin's teleport. It's pretty interesting. Kind of just being sneaky. I'm kind of surprised Faceless Void hasn't actually TP'd away from here. He doesn't gain anything from standing over here.
He wouldn't even be part of a fight if they were to find anyone with their smoke gank on the top lane. So, kind of risky coming out of the exotic. He's going to TP away. Going back home right now just feels really... Uses Crydasia's TP, of course.
Of course. Just like an extra slap in the face, although I don't think Crydasia actually knows about it.
No. Desolator now completed for the Templar Assassin, but she's going to have no gold for buyback if they do manage to pick her off here. Of course, if she was to buy back, it'd be so far away to get to the actual fight once again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And the siege begins. Looks like a nice, oh man, the meteor barely hits the Venomancer, but it really hurts the Faceless Void. He's sitting at half health now, and he's forced to time walk back into his base to heal up. Fortunately, I think he's going to have enough time before the pressure continues from WhA Asian.
Well, look at this trap placement. What WhA Asian is gonna want to do here is kind of drag Exotic out of their base, onto these traps and take a fight out here instead, because going up this ramp against the Faceless Void is so scary. You don't want to do that, and especially when there's a Sand King to couple with it, with that over 1,000 magic damage on everyone in that epicenter. And WhA Asian actually decided to back off here.
Rubik opting for a Sanjay pickup. Interesting pickup here. Might just be for the health. Might be following Pusher Street's footsteps in the 6 Sanjay build on his Rasta.
Oh, he's actually finished his Heaven's Halberd here.
Oh man, this Void is really far ahead of his team. He's gonna get sheeped as well as ice passed out. And then the Tornado EMP to finish things off. He has no mana for his Chronosphere. Then a stun just to, make things worse coming out of the Centaur owned by Nino on that Chen. And the Deafening Blast. They do not want to fight this here. Not at all.
And I kind of agree with that, because they can't really fight without Chaos Knight. Pimpalicious is sitting up on this top lane, just farming away, trying to work on his next item, and I'm really interested to see what it's going to be. I would not be surprised if it's a Manta style.
That'd be an interesting pickup, though, for sure. I don't know, I mean, he's really, really heavy on items here. I feel like he could go anything right now.
Yeah.
He's going to be doing a lot of damage regardless of what his next item choice is.
Yeah, definitely. Man,
he might save for buyback.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah, definitely. He's gonna save for buyback, but eventually he's gonna have enough gold to be able to buy an item and have buyback, and I think that's gonna be a Manta style.
Oh.
Eventually these items might not even be enough to take on this Faceless Void.
Void running into a Chaos Knight there on that high ground decides, you know what, I have 1400 health. Chaos Knight has something like 3100. I do not want to fight this right now.
And that's without Armlet activated. Oh. With Armlet, I think it's 3,500 or something like that. So much.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Bounty Hunter opting to go for a Basher here. That is basically just to give them something, an extra crowd control tool to go through BKB to stop this Chaos Knight and this Templar Assassin. And I think that's
Heaven's Halberd. Heaven's Halberd was the item of choice on that Rubik.
Yeah.
So ends up picking it up. Most likely going to be using it on TA most of the time in these fights. Just because Chaos Knight, once he pops his ultimate, sure, you can stop 1 from attacking, but you can't stop 4.
Yeah. We usually see Templar Assassin pick up a Yasha just for that extra mobility in team fights. Just the movement speed is so good on Templar Assassin. But this Cradacia opts not to do it. I'm kind of interested in that.
Man, Invoker now sitting on 6 items. He's pretty much full. He's Boots of Travel coming up to him as we speak. Of course, he might opt to switch his Magic Wand for a different item later on, but he is just huge right now and doing so much in these fights as well.
You gotta ask yourself though, what is he gonna buy? To instead of the Magic Wand, is it gonna be a drum? Is it gonna be
Most likely
a Cyclone
maybe
stick?
a Yule Scepter or a Shiva's, I would say.
Could be a Shiva's too, I suppose. Maybe even an Orchid. Orchid would be good here, I feel.
There are a lot of BKBs on the other hand, but it wouldn't be too bad for heroes without BKB. I think Shiva's would be the best as well because of that minus attack speed aura that you get out of it, just to make that Faceless Void do a little bit less damage. And even the Bounty Hunter here.
Speaking of Shiva's, look at Sanking. He's getting really close to his Shiva's.
Yeah, only about 1,300 gold away. Unfortunately, that does mean that he's not going to have enough gold for the buyback. Opting to pick up the Shivas, though, instead of the Veil of Discord, that's a very interesting item choice here.
Yeah. I think
for
it's
around the
because
same damage output, too.
He wants to keep people close to Void, so Void can actually deal that auto-attack damage, so Void doesn't get kited. And I kind of agree with that. Chen finishing his Aghanim Scepter. That 30-second cooldown on Hand of God is so good. Can almost use it whenever it's off cooldown now, because it's going to be off cooldown for a fight anyway.
Yep.
But he is not level 16 yet, so it only heals for 300 rather than 400. That's important to note.
Once again, taking a look at the warding coming out, I mean, the bottom lane's really nicely warded there. That's a unorthodox but very important ward coming out of the Dire here, just to make sure they have that bottom lane under control. And Venomancer, of course, having his Plague Ward there up onto that normal spot that you want to ward if you're trying to be defensive on this bottom or mid lane. At the same time, though, they're very blind in terms of actual observer wards that would last for the full 6 minutes.
Yeah, typically when you're on the Dire and you have this tower advantage, you see them ward this hill where the Venomancer has his ward, and then on the other side where they warded earlier, over here where I'm showing on the stream. Just to be able to kind of make a line where the Radiant can't really cross this line.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of containing the Radiant to their base. Not being able to farm up, get those items, and fight back.
Yep. Really good creeps on Chen right now. He actually finished his Ag Scepter as well. I don't know if we talked about that.
Oh yeah, I brought it up.
Okay, cool. 2 Centaurs as well as a Troll. That's going to be pretty painful. Of course, Troll's Ensnare does go through BKB. So that could be pretty important just for shutting that Void down just a couple of extra seconds while the Chronosphere is up. I mean, if Chronosphere is going to be up for 5 seconds and 2 of them are spent in Ensnare, that's pretty important there.
Yeah, I agree. Although he does have to get the Ensnare off before Void reaches his target. That can be a challenge.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is, once Chaos Knight pops his ultimate, there isn't really too much immediate AoE damage besides Sand King's Epicenter that could potentially deal with those illusions. I mean, they're going to be so tanky because of that armlet as well as the heart anyways. So if you can't really deal with that, you're just going to have to, pop your Ghost Scepters and wait those extra couple of seconds in peace.
Yeah, and that's why I think he could really use a Manta Style, because it gives him even more of that, and the damage is good for him. I think he could really use a Manta Style.
Mm-hmm. He's sitting at 2,700 gold right now. Definitely still saving for a buyback for the time being.
Yeah.
Bounty Hunter opting to pick up a Basher. Most likely going to go into that Abyssal Blade, but very interesting item here.
Yeah, it's just to give them more control against those BKBs, especially against this Templar Assassin. They don't want to deal with her damage. And she does do a lot of damage because of that Desolator.
Yeah.
PC crashed some. It's happened to everyone.